Chairman. Secretary Lew, it's very good to see you here. I was in Israel when the rockets attacks began and took shelter in the hotel bomb shelter and had the faces of people observing Simchas Torah all around me who couldn't check their phones, but we were seeing the dawning reality that this was not just a rocket attack, but the most heinous, grotesque attack on Jewish people since the Holocaust. It was sobering to understand that not just Hamas being a terrorist organization, but they were attacking other humans in ways with a barbarity that was just unimaginable. You know this well. Hamas is an organization that in its very founding is to kill Jews, and they have no consideration for the obvious of Israel's strength. They understood completely that they, as they scurried back into Gaza, that they would put Palestinians' lives at risk. And it's clear from their history they don't care about Palestinian lives. They have abducted Palestinians, tortured Palestinians, killed Palestinians, all to pursue their terroristic aims. And we know that they have often focused on disrupting efforts towards peace. After Oslo, where Arafat and Rabin came to a great accord, they began immediately attacking Israelis, attacking civilians, bombing buses, and more. So I'm grateful you are sitting here now. I agree with many of my colleagues on the urgency to get you confirmed into the position. I will tell you, and it's been said by others, bipartisan leaders are coming about who are talking to your character. I have rarely had a situation where someone sits before me where I've had calls from my Republican friends as well as Democratic friends who all testify. They may not agree with the policies of the administrations you've served, but they testify to your character. And that to me is at a time that we need principled people leading in important positions. It gives me great solace in this time of great despair and heartbreak that you will be stepping forward. I want to thank your family for their commitment and their sacrifice as well. I want to start with just simply saying that last night, I, along with Senator Ernst and a bipartisan group of senators, sent a letter to President Biden urging the administration to continue their efforts with our regional partners to secure the release of almost 200 civilian hostages, including over a dozen that are being held by Hamas. I'm assuming that that's going to be one of your first and principal duties.
Absolutely, Senator. I don't think any of us can rest until we know we've done everything we can do to bring people home safely.
I'm grateful for the President's leadership at this time. I think it's been extraordinary. He is another person that I got to know during a presidential primary of great character. I'm grateful that he's talking also a lot about humanitarian assistance and the fact that democracies are strong when they abide by the rule of law and they take into account humanitarian urgencies amidst the pursuit of war. Once you're confirmed, do you commit to doing everything in your power to facilitate the flow of humanitarian assistance to the people of Gaza and ensure that the innocent civilians and humanitarian aid workers are able to seek shelter and get the resources they need to help minimize consequences to civilian life?
Senator, I think it's critical that we do everything we can to help innocent civilians without giving resources to terrorists who mean to do harm to innocent Israelis. And I will work hard to do that. Even while we've been sitting here, I'm told that the president has committed $100 million in refugee assistance, that there are negotiations that have been concluded or are well underway to open a humanitarian corridor. Innocent civilians should not pay the price for terrorists. Terrorists should not hide behind innocent civilians. And it is just a necessity that we are in an environment now where it's very hard to separate the two populations. We have to try.
I think that not only is it urgent that we show our resolute, unwavering, unequivocal support for Israel, I think those principles you just said as well, we should give that resolute commitment. I want to zoom out real quickly. I'm very committed to the larger, winning the war is what, obviously there's a lot of focus on that right now against Hamas, eradicating Hamas, but winning the peace is critical as well, and thinking from a larger lens. The United States has been very focused on supporting Israel, as well as supporting the larger regional peace that has been evolving since the Abraham Accords. I think it's an incredible sign that there was conversations going on with Palestinian leaders, with the Saudis. In fact, their first visit to the West Bank since '67 to have conversations. MBS goes on Fox News and talks about every day moving closer towards normalization with Israel, and how Palestinians are center of that. I talked to U.S. negotiators about that. In fact, one of my purposes for my trip to Israel was to meet with Palestinian leaders as well as Israeli leaders about expanding the Abraham Accords and normalizations with Saudi Arabia and the principal part that the Palestinians would play going back towards a two-state solution. Just in closing, could you just give me some affirmation that that is also a very urgent part of your mission as well?
I think it's critical to get back to the business of addressing the strategic security and growth of the region. And the things you described are right at the core of it. And we have to do it in a way where the lives of Palestinians can improve and the security of Israel is not put at jeopardy. I think going back into a serious discussion of expanding the Abraham Accords, which were very important, to include Saudi Arabia and Israel normalizing relations is crucial. And I pledge to work with this committee, with Congress, with members on both sides, whether they support my nomination or not, to help that come about.
I'm grateful for you sitting here. I'm grateful for your willingness to serve, and simply say Yasher Koach. Thank you.
As we would say, Baruch Tiyeh. You should be blessed.